I think there are some issues with Super Mario Maker 2, starting with world themes.
Basically, Super Mario Bros. SMB, Super Mario Bros. 3 SMB3, Super Mario World SMW, New Super Mario Bros. U NSMBU, and Super Mario 3D World SM3D World are all just reskins. Yeah, they made slight changes, but I think it would have been interesting if they actually made the game styles exactly like they were in the old games, like in Super Mario 35, where they celebrated 35 years of Mario. Also, NSMBU is just Super Mario Bros. Wii. The backgrounds are the same, the power-ups are the same, and what's more, there's no Tanuki suit. That was the selling point of it. I mean, there was in the second game, but how could you miss what's plastered all over the marketing for that game? The only thing they kept was the slight graphic design changes in the original. Course themes. They are interesting but limited. I like the idea of some of them, as well as the night course theme, but the night course theme's background is boring, and for some reason they only add certain mechanics depending on what course theme or game style. They shouldn't have done that to give the creators more freedom. Building. There are enemies and blocks missing. I assume it's so people don't end up doing a better job than Nintendo does at making mainline Mario games. I don't know why they left slopes out in the first one. It seems a bit excessive, but when they did add them, it wasn't intuitive at all. You had to stretch slopes instead of placing them. I thought there would just be right angled triangles I could place like stairs in Minecraft, but no, I can't. What's more, there are only two types of slopes, steep slope and gentle slope. You could have just added another to be steeper slope to make it more equal. In reality, all I want is more freedom and consistency in the game. It just feels too limited. Some objects don't even fit in the game styles of the game. I know I said I wanted more freedom, but I also want the game to be more consistent. When they add things in different game modes, they sometimes make them in some modes but not in others. It's not for historical purposes or aesthetic purposes. They're just removing and adding random shit all willy-nilly with no consideration over anything. They added the skewers to every mode even though, in real life, the skewers weren't in Super Mario Bros. Yet, they didn't add the propeller mushroom to all the other modes, despite them only being in New Super Mario Bros. U. Either A, make all the game styles just reskins, or B, make them more historically accurate. I like option B though. SMM1 has intuitive controls, good for making levels with the stylus, but bad for a joystick. SMM2 is the other way around, but worse than that because it's optimized for two-player controls on the Nintendo Switch handle nunchucks. They could have just added a stylus setting that made the UI more like Super Mario Maker 1, then a default controller setting that puts good use to the other half of the controller, then keep your Super Mario Maker 2 UI and call it a two-player setting. That way it's optimized for everyone. They are best used like a Wii. I don't know why they say they can be used as a controller all on their own. There are not nearly enough buttons for normal gameplay. A few suggestions. Make us have unlimited doors like we have unlimited pipes. Make the pipes not only bring us to a different course theme for a level, but also bring us to a different game style too. I hate how instead of updating their game or porting it to other devices, they just abandon it to make the next game. It is extremely selfish to those who spend their hard-earned money to buy the console in order to buy the game just so it eventually dies and gets abandoned by Nintendo so they're off making the next Mario game or games console. Have more freedom by adding everything that was in all Mario games, or in all Mario games of those eras. Also make the 3D world actually 3D, otherwise it loses its only gimmick. And a Super Mario 64 mode to make the time between each era more consistent. It's so weird not seeing a smooth timeline of eras in Mario. Okay, well, that's it. Also, TLDR, just to shorten everything down. Don't be inconsistent for no reason, and give people necessary quality of life mechanics.